Okay, my friends, things are really looking up in the mud fossil world. Now, if you've been following me for, some people have been following me for quite some time now. 2011, I discovered mud fossils, which this is one right here, and it is the foot of some unknown creature that has toes built into the foot, and this is a foot. This is where the tibia, the big bone, would sit, and the fibia sits on the side, just like ours, and they fall right off. On the outside is feldspar, the inside is basalt, and that happens on all the mud fossils because collagens create feldspars. Even skin, even feathers, which is this is a goose, and there's a feather pattern, and this is all feldspar as well. But guess what? Inside is the basalt, and that's because it's a different chemistry. When it bonds, and basically it's what's called nucleophilic substitution. In this particular type of chemistry, and for long salty invasions and so forth, there are different chemistries, aluminum will attach to the feldspar and it will stabilize it and turn it into feldspar. And it depends on where it was in the body. Like I have one here. This is a human lung, and it is human. It was been DNA tested human. I took it out of here, drilled in here to where the red bloody spots are. And this is all feldspar as well. And it's because it's collagens. Now, look at what you see here. Let me show you something. I am very, very buoyed today because Robert Downey Jr. looks like he understands what's going on here and wants to support this kind of research. Watch this. All right, like I say, it's apparently a site called Experiment, and they were touting it as funding new research. That's all I got from it. I don't know if it's open or you're doing it yet or what's going on there, but we need to do this. Now, you see that? That was what I just showed you out in the desert. And guess where that was? In the desert in Morocco. And guess where this is? These are, again, something that you're not going to expect. Those are tendon fibrils. And here's what this was, which is on the other side of Robert Downey Jr., and that is from this dragon. That is a dragon, and it spit that stuff out. That's the head of the dragon. And if we follow down its throat, all that spit came out of there, the dragon venom. And that landed on the fish's back here, which is a giant fish. I'm just telling you, it is here. Now, you have to just stop. Take a deep breath. Take 2 or 3 of them. Slow down. Chill your little self out. All right, you good? No. All right, so no. Take a couple more breaths. Couple more. It's there. That's all I can say. The dragon is there. That's all I can say. Now, if you come in and look at it and you see something else, I don't know what to say about that. I will leave you to what you see. But what I see is a fish that had been attacked by that venom, and that venom came all the way down here and invaded the fish's vital flesh. And look at what it did to it. And that's flesh. That's the way flesh works. It has all these little tiny blood vessels. It has a main source of fluids and so forth, and then you have all these little vessels that feed all the time, blood cells, basically all the other cells in the body. Now, the fin is being invaded. I mean, that's all I can say. They were fighting. There was a battle going on here. And that dragon runs not only from here and a little bit over to here, he runs all the way over to the other side of North Africa. And there's the other side of the tail. You see all the dragon scales. And this runoff here is the runoff of a decaying body, which on the other end it has the same thing. You see right here? That's the edge of the effluent. And what is effluent? Effluent is bodily fluids that when a body purges all of its fluids, and a coroner will tell you this is exactly what happens. This is the edge of the body. All right, this is all the fluids that run out and just sort of leak, and this is the color of these fluids. And this is the dragon scales. Now, if you see something else here, I don't know what to say. And I'm telling you right now, geologists say, oh, it just happens. No, it doesn't. It does not happen. And they drew this in as dragons on the ancient maps. And they also showed that the dragon's throat was cut right here. And that's where it bled out in the desert. You see that? That's a gash. That throat was cut. That is not natural. It was cut right up here too. The whole thing right across. And it bled out in the desert. And that's exactly what they show on ancient maps. Exactly. They show the dragon going all the way across, and they show a cut right across his throat. And then below that they show Atlantis down here, which it appears to be Atlantis. And from all my research on this, to me, I would say this battle happened, this was an ocean, or a lake, or whatever it was, gigantic. And when they battled, Atlantis fell, because they said Atlantis collapsed, and apparently did. And all of this washed out. Whatever was in here, that water ran out. And it created the Cape Verde Islands out here. It all piled up here, and then started to wash around the edges, see it? But it all came out of here. Here it is right there. It's very, 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 very obvious. And they said Atlantis was right outside the Straits. Well, everybody said the Straits of Gibraltar. No, it was this Straits right here. And this was a very limited Straits. So they would have a complete total access to this body of water. And when it collapsed, it all ran out over the edge, and all of this flowed out. The whole thing just ended up running off out of here. So there's a lot to consider here that has not been considered. All right, so we know about the dragon venom and the dragon in the desert. What's up with this? Okay, here it is right here. That is a tendon. All right? And you see, it starts into these sort of bigger bundles. And then as it comes down, they break into these smaller little fibrils. Fiber bundles, basically. And then each one of those little fiber bundles in there breaks into another one of bazillion fiber bundles. And that one of those little bazillion fiber bundles breaks down to another bazillion, and down and down and down. And these are what's called collagen fibrils. I keep talking about collagen, collagen, collagen. Oh, and this is all this stuff is collagen. It's all collagen. Collagen makes up all of the tendinous material and all of the fascia. All right, that's what collagens do. Now, you can see, this is what it is. You see it? You see the patterns? Take your time. Just look, you see the patterns. Now, you're going to see every now and then, you're going to see a little spot like this, a little spot like that, a little spot here. That's, I believe, where there's going to be a little bit of a blood vessel, because they still get service with blood. Not much. That's why they're not showing them here, because it's almost nothing. But you will find them with little tastes of blood on them here and there. Because everything in your body has to be serviced with blood. I don't care if it's a tendon or not. It's got to have, at least the membranes have to be serviced, which means that you have to have a distribution of blood in that area. Now let me show you the anatomical version, but don't forget, the reason they break flat like this is because these have what's called an abrupt transition. All right, take a second. Abrupt transition. What does that mean? Abrupt means quick, instant. Boom. That's abrupt. Transition means a change. Changes from tendon into muscle. That's what tendons do. They hold onto your muscles, and then they embed themselves into the bone or so forth, so that your muscle can pull against something. Let me show you that. Okay, this gives me a lot of hope. I know that there's a lot of people that, you know, are in his realm, that are well-known people that know about my stuff. It's very hard to talk about and stay respected, because people think that even if you start thinking about this kind of stuff, then you're just an idiot. Well, he is not an idiot. He is a hero, as far as I'm concerned, and I thank you, Robert Downey Jr., my friend.